Okay, so in this problem, it may be a little challenging at first. You want to remember when you have division that you're really minusing. So then we have v to the negative 8 minus the negative 3. So we're really minusing the exponents. When you have minus and negative, it's really like adding. So then we have v to the negative 5th. Now notice it says positive exponent. So whenever you do this calculation, your variable stays in the numerator. So this is placed in the numerator. However, it says positive exponent. So there's one rule that we haven't learned yet, that we need to have positive exponents. So if it's in the numerator and it's negative, you're going to move it to the denominator. And that becomes a positive exponent now. And then since there's nothing in the numerator, you just put a 1. So I know that's going to be complicated, but I'm sure we can do this with practice. So then to submit your answer, give me one moment so I can check. All right. Now, sorry for that. I needed to figure out how to get my mouse back. So then we have 1 v, and then raise it to the 5th power. All right, so this should be our next problem. Notice that it also says use positive exponents. So there's different ways to do this. You can automatically make this a positive exponent. Notice that it's in the numerator if you move it to the bottom. So then we have a positive 2 on the bottom now. And then we have t to the 6. So 2t squared times t to the 6 is t to the 8th because you add the exponents. So that is one way of doing it. The next way of doing it is to just know we have to minus the exponents because we're dividing. So negative 2 minus 6 gets you that negative 8. Now once again, notice that it says positive exponents. So since we have a t to the negative 8 in the numerator, we need to move it down. And if you notice, the first way gets you the second way's answer. So if we put this into the IXL, put 1 in the numerator because something has to stay there, and t in the denominator raised to a positive 8, we should be good. All right, our next item, this will actually be simpler for you because, give me 1 second. All right, sorry, I'm trying to erase while I talk. This will be easier because we're not dealing with any negatives. The negatives for division, it's complicated. And if you're struggling, that's fine. That's why I don't care about a SMART score right now. I just want you to practice. And I want you to read the instructions if you get them wrong. So if you notice here, we have p to the 7th divided by p to the 2nd. So we have to minus the exponents. So we have p to the 5th. Notice it's positive, so it's just going to stay in the numerator. If I were to write this out I would have to write 7 p's on the top, because p to the 7th means p is repeated 7 times. And then I would write p squared, which is just 2 p's on the bottom. Now, if I took that eraser that I've been struggling with and I erase this p, and then whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, and then erase what they have in common, just like that, you would find out that we have now 5 p's on top, which goes to the p to the 5th. So if you just type in p to the 5th, you'll get the right answer. Same thing with this problem. See, they're not all so difficult. When you divide, you need to minus the exponents. So 9 minus 3 is a positive 6. So since we have a positive 6, it's just going to stay right in the numerator. So then we don't need to do anything fancy with it. We just write f to the 6. Okay, so this one is going to be a little more challenging because we have the negative numbers again. So you always want to start with the numerator exponent first. So we have j, and then we see negative 6 first, minus the 8. So then we have j to the negative 6 minus 8, which is negative 14. Now we can't have a negative exponent. Since it's already in our numerator, we need to move it down. Since we took everything from our numerator, we're just going to leave a 1. And when you take it down to the denominator, it becomes positive. So then we're going to have a fraction. We're going to have 1j to the 14th.